food. Brazil is the size of a continent. So maybe you've heard of Brazilian food as being feijoada, brigadeiro, pão de queijo. However, in different regions, you're going to find different types of food. So in this video, we're going to be talking about 5 typical foods from the region of the Northeast, more specifically Pernambuco, where Recife is. And if you've seen my previous videos, you know I've been there. So I'm going to show you a little bit about it. I filmed it as I was eating all of those. However, there's going to be a mix of me sitting here telling you, as well as the videos in the restaurants that I've been to. So let's dive right in. So my first suggestion for you is called bolo de rolo, which is like rolled cake, literally. So that's a very thin layer of dough with an even thinner spread of guava paste rolled into a rolled cake, I guess. And you would be finding it everywhere, really, in Pernambuco and in Recife. It is traditional from that area. It's very tasty. And one of the most famous places you can find it is somewhere called Casa dos Frios, which is a kind of a grocery shop for fine items they have in that region. But honestly, you can find it homemade, you can find it in bakeries, you can find it pretty much everywhere. It's very tasty. It's awesome for you to take back home as a gift to someone, or even to take to your own place and try it. It's very sweet, and nowadays you also have other options like chocolate as well. The second one I wanted to tell you about is goat steak. So goat meat in general is very, very popular around that area because within the inner part of the countryside in there, it's more like a deserted area. So you don't have a lot of like traditional cattle because they wouldn't necessarily resist to the dryness of the area. However, it is very popular goat. You will find like upscale restaurants serving goat, and not only steaks, but other things as well. In fact, they have something called a buchada de bode, which is like goat stomach with offals. I have not tried that one. I couldn't bring myself to try that one. But if you feel like I should try, just leave the word buchada down in the comments. And if enough of you comment it, maybe next time I will go and try it. However, this one that I'm talking about is goat steak. It is very popular. I went to this restaurant called Entre Amigos, not sponsored. It's just like the place that people recommended me as the best place to try it. I was honestly very surprised because you still have a little bit of the taste of the goat, but it's not as strong as I thought it would be. And the waiter there told me that it really depends on how they are treated and what they are fed. So I believe if you want to try it, that is an amazing option for you to go. It's a very nice restaurant, family-like, and you can just go there. And they have other types of things. They have sausages. They have, as I said, the stomach, which is kind of a hage, like the Scottish one. I think is it hage? Hige? I don't remember what it's called now. But that type of dish as well. But what I tried was a plain steak covered in Parmesan cheese. Was actually very tasty. So you can go and try that. Third one I'm going to talk to you about is a type of cake, very traditional of that area. I had never even heard of that, but apparently it's like very popular in there, and in fact it might be like one of those heritage type of recipes or something like that, which is called bolo Souza Leão. So it takes that name because back in the times of when sugarcane plantations were all over the place in Brazil, like in the 1800s, 1700s and even earlier, they decided to do recipes that used more local ingredients rather than the traditional wheat and cow milk from Europe. So they substituted wheat flour for manioc flour and cow milk for coconut milk, and it became kind of like a flan-like type of dessert. It takes eggs and yolk and all of that. It is very tasty. It is a dessert. You can find it mostly in bakeries, but it is like one of the traditional things from that area. I had never even heard of that outside of there. So that was a first for me to even hearing about it. So it's very local. If you're in the area, you should definitely try that one. Now, the third thing I wanted to mention is tapioca. Tapioca, you're probably going to be able to find it pretty much everywhere around Brazil nowadays. However, that is the region where it is originally from. And if you've seen my video about Olinda, you've seen that I filmed like an entire street food market just dedicated to tapioca. So it's like several small stalls just selling their own tapioca. Each of them have like different type of flavors, a bunch of types of flavors. I tried it in Olinda. Olinda is a great place to visit, by the way. It's just half an hour from Recife, so if you're ever in that area, you must go there and check it out. It's very colorful, very pretty, but at night they have that street market place, and you can find it and try it. In fact, you can find it anywhere that you go in that area, and probably in Brazil. The fourth one I wanted to mention is actually couscous. This is very traditional in that area of Brazil. You can find it like they usually have like a specific shape. I had never tried it before going there, but usually they have it with kind of like a dried jerk beef, and they make kind of like a burger shaped thing. It can be very dense, so be very hungry, or maybe share it with someone, because I felt like I could not eat anymore after half of it. So just be mindful of that. It is quite a lot of food, and it's very heavy, so it is very tasty. It's couscous I think it's made of corn, so you can just go and try that. You can find it anywhere, and you can also even find the pans to take it back home if you like it so much you want to prepare it, and probably you're gonna find couscous. I'm not sure if it is the same as the ones you can find in like North Africa, like Morocco or not. However, you can definitely find the type of flour used for that in Brazilian shops in your area. Okay, I said 5, but actually I have a bonus one for you. It is soursop juice. Actually, it's any type of tropical juice. I didn't want to put it in because soursop is not necessarily from that region. It is more like from Central America that we in Brazil adopted. However, if you visit Rio, you can find that, but it's not as commonly found as you would have in the Northeast. So I advise you to try as many tropical juices as you can in that area, because it is much harder to find as you go down south towards Rio and Iguaçu Falls and São Paulo and other areas. So try graviola, try cacao juice, try cupuaçu juice. There are many other types of juices that you can find and try, so try as many as you can. In this video I tried graviola. It is actually very tasty, and it is very different than what you can find down south. So that is it, a quick video about the Brazilian food that you can find in this region. I just wanted you to know that what to look for when you're there, if you're a foodie and if you want to try different things. These are all very specific from the region, and these are not very commonly found in Rio, except if you do go to the Northeast Fair, the cultural fair we have in Rio. I have a full video about it that you can check here. I'll see you on the next one. Bye!